Beautiful, beautiful soul family. Welcome to Eringy. I'm Erin, and welcome to your full moon energy forecast for August 2023. Beautiful time, isn't it? I love doing these readings, and it's such a sacred time. So rather than kind of just sort of sitting and watching or listening and not really doing anything else, why not treat this as a really sacred time? Connect with the feminine energy, commune with spirit, really find some really deep insights into the path that you're currently on. It's exciting. So why not create your sacred space however you want to, and when you're done, come back and we will go through today's or this full moon's energy forecast. All right, gorgeous. So this is actually one of two full moons that are occurring this August, which is a little more unusual. And it's quite interesting because the overarching energy of this month is about surrendering. And the full moon itself is also about surrendering, releasing, and letting go. It's also about celebrating too, but just when we're talking about this overarching energy of surrender, it's quite interesting that we have two full moons occurring. So obviously we are really releasing. We're really surrendering what we no longer need or want. So let's have a look and sort of see what you've kind of created since the new moon. Transformation. Okay, so this particular card or this particular energy has been showing up so much this year. Transformation. So as you know, this year is way more internal than it is external. So this really does make sense. It's a little like, the caterpillar to the butterfly type situation. That's you. So you are still it still feels like you're kind of in the cocoon phase at the moment. Not quite turned into the butterfly version, but you're well and truly on track, which is amazing. So for this particular full moon, let's have a look and see where you're at. Ooh, solar plexus chakra. The vibrant energy center of the soul. All about self-confidence, self-power, stepping into your power. You are really, really embracing that true self, like this energy center actually sits just above the navel, and it is relating to how you show up in the world from an emotional aspect. And really, this vibrant yellow is such an active, positive color. And that's where I feel that you are currently. So it almost feels like you're creating your own identity based on what you want, as opposed to what was sort of expected of you in the past from other people, or even just from yourself. That pressure, that internal pressure that you naturally place on yourself to achieve your goals, doesn't feel like you are kind of leaning into that as much. This almost feels like you're kind of stepping out from that, and you are really creating a new sense of power by doing that. It's a self-empowerment step. So that's where you're at right now, which is amazing. What's going to come into your awareness during this gorgeous full moon is the knowledge that not all things are going to go well in life in general. And, we do, I feel like we kind of know that. And it's interesting how when things don't go well, we still do tend to kind of take it quite personally, or we react to it negatively. I feel like and I say we because I too need to work on this also, is to work on the actual truth of these obstacles and these challenges, which is they only serve us in positive ways. They only help us to grow even more, to transform even more into that type of person or soul that we've been wanting to be. So they don't happen to us, they happen for us. And even though at the time it's quite sucky, we've got to really start to shift our way of thinking and to look at it as more of a gift and sort of look at this and go, okay, what can I learn from this? Maybe this is teaching me patience. Maybe this is teaching me compassion. Maybe this is teaching me to be grateful for what is in my life as opposed to what I don't have or what I feel like I'm lacking in. Okay, so also realize that sometimes these obstacles that we sort of see in front of us aren't as hectic or crazily terrible as what we perceive them to be. All right, sometimes it's just a matter of kind of just taking a little leap as opposed to a huge run up and like, wah, really going for it. Okay, so instead of reacting during this full moon, and obviously this is going to continue on. It's not just this small amount, this small window of opportunity. This is carrying on from, this full moon to the next. Instead of seeing it as something that's terrible, I invite you to see it as something that is a gift. Okay, and something that you can handle, because the universe isn't going to give it to you unless it knows that you're ready for it and that you can handle it. And it knows that you're going to learn something super, super valuable from this. All right. So that's actually really cool. Even though it's got like a negative spin to it, I feel like it could actually be potentially very, very positive if that's the way you want to see it, perceive it, and live it. All right. So if that's what's coming into your awareness, knowing that you can handle this, sometimes obstacles aren't as hard as what they seem to be. What are you ready to kind of let go of? What's no longer serving you? Fulfillment of wishes. Oh, okay. Fulfillment of wishes. You have this, it's kind of past tense now. You had this dream, you thought you'd be somewhere and you're not quite there yet. And you kind of keep going back there, even though it's just not serving you. It's really not worth revisiting constantly over and over. Maybe it was a missed opportunity that you felt, or maybe it was something that you could have done differently. There's this feeling like there's a bit of regret, like, I wish I hadn't done that. It's not failure, okay? It's not. That's that experience, or perhaps missing out on that, isn't a form of failure. It's basically a result of what you knew at the time, okay? Because everything that you do is a result of what you know at the time, isn't it? So I really would love for you to just look at whatever that is, whatever this thing is, this regret, this memory, this goal that you thought that you'd achieve and you haven't quite achieved it. And I really, truly invite you to just take that and go, okay, what did I learn from that? How did I grow from that? And then just, that's it. That's where it ends. Rather than, pushing, or like pushing negativity down onto you, or putting judgment into it, or just saying really terrible things about you, who you are as a person, or your skills or your ability. None of that matters anymore, because it's already happened. And if it hasn't happened, there's a reason for it. Okay. Obviously, things have changed. Your path has changed. Your trajectory has changed. Your mindset, your emotions, your soul, all of it changes. We evolve. We transform, don't we? Right? So maybe this goal that you were working toward is just no longer going to be it for you. Maybe there's something even bigger and better than that. All right. So is that possible to let it go? And because this is the month of surrendering, this is an important aspect, okay? So the end result is not necessarily the motivation. The monthly reading that I did spoke about how we are motivated more about how we feel as opposed to the material gain. Yeah, that's that. So if you had this goal and it was based on the material stuff, like, it's like, I have this goal because I want this, this, and this, and I'm not fulfilling that, then maybe that's just not the trajectory that you need to be on. Maybe it's got to be more about how you feel. What's it feel like? What's that journey going to feel like? Because it's the journey. That's the important thing, not the result. All right, so I'm hoping that that makes sense to you. Let's sort of see how you could release that. Alrighty, so this is a good one. Conflict and defeat card. What this basically speaks of is that ask yourself the question, do you have a tendency of laser focusing on the things that aren't going well? I know I do sometimes. Absolutely. When things go, it's a little like one thing goes wrong and then another, and then it's like, the domino effect. So I'm asking this question, do you have a tendency of when something doesn't go your way, do you kind of put a lot of your energy into that? Or are you the type of person that can look more at the positives from that and just go, yeah, okay, it happened. All right, I'm going to move away from that. Focus my attention on something much healthier. For me personally, I'm kind of an in-between type person. It ultimately depends on the situation. If it's something that I felt was really important and it doesn't go the way I want it to, or it's not, transpiring in that sense, then I do have a tendency of feeling quite disappointed, and that disappointment can last probably longer than what it needs to. Okay, so for me, obviously, the full moon, there's a part of me that can learn to not get so fixated on the result and instead just enjoy the ride. Okay. I do tend to do that more often these days, but I know that everything's tweaking, isn't it? So it's all about just, doing these micro adjustments so that it's all just sort of feeling really, really good, as opposed to some days feel good, other days feel crap. So I invite you to do the same. Rather than kind of focusing on the things that aren't going well, there are still so many wonderful things just waiting for you. And it really is just a matter of deciding to go, I'm not going to focus on that anymore. I'm going to stop just fixating on this one thing and start to look at the bigger picture. Okay, because there is a bigger picture involved here, a much more exciting picture. So let's take a look at what Spirit wants to sort of say to you as kind of lasting impressions here for this beautiful luminous energy of the full moon. And they are basically telling you that you are still very, very much on the right track. So if you are feeling a little unsure, take this as a sign that you are very much on the right track. If you continue to tap into this energy center, this solar plexus area just above the navel, if you really continue to kind of connect with that powerhouse of emotions, all right, embrace every aspect of who you are. And if you realize that these obstacles that come your way really aren't there to hurt you or to make your life a living hell, they really are here to assist you and help you decide what feels good. Yeah. Help you decide what's the greater path. So please understand that when we are when when we are on the right track, we're still going to have challenges. Okay. I feel like there's this mistake that many of us can make, where we believe that if things go wrong, that's a sign that we're off track. It's not the case at all. We've got yin and yang. It's polar opposites. It's necessary to have negative and positive, because that's how we find balance. So they're basically saying, don't use those negative things, those experiences, be the reason for you to keep changing your mind, because they said, because you are a strong soul and you've got this. Okay, you can handle this. That's why you've come here. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Here to experience what it's like to be a human on Earth. It's a pretty amazing gift we have. So this is your full moon energy forecast for more of the beginning of August. And we will have another one right at the end of August as well. So look out for that. But just for now, enjoy this sacred time and really just allow that moon's energy to wash all over you, help you release what you no longer need, and celebrate the type of person you are and who you're becoming. I'm sending you so much love. Namaste.